Hello everyone, this is Irina Blount from La La Land Crafts. We are so excited you could join us today for Scrapbook Expo at Home mini edition all about the boys. Now sit back, relax and enjoy the show. Hello everyone, this is Irina Blount from La La Land Crafts. I'm super excited to be here today with you for another edition of Stamp and Scrapbook Expo at Home event. I am really excited that this event is for the boys themed. I know a lot of us have find that creating for the boys and men in our lives can be challenging. So this is our chance to show you how our products can work for this theme. As always, we have some show specials. Let me show you this first. We have a product bundle for you today, and I'll go through the products in a minute. The product bundle, the retail value of the bundle is $72. Your cost is $50, and you'll get it at lalalandcrafts.com. It's a limited time offer while supplies last. All of these products are available individually as well in our online store. The second show special is the sale. The sale is 20% off. Your coupon code is BOYS20 all together. And this code is valid today, August 13th through the 20th. It's valid for a whole week. It's not valid on club subscriptions, bundles. This bundle is more than 20% off. That's why you're getting bigger savings with the bundle versus the sale. And special boxes are not included as well. So you can buy everything else at lalalandcrafts.com. Let me show you what's included in the bundle today. I went with the camping theme for this bundle. So we have this really nice and adorable Happy Trails clear stamp set. And the reason I chose this because it has the images, but it also has so many, as you can see, so many sentiments. It has this sign right here, and most of the sentiments will fit inside of the sign. And the sentiments can be used for so many different occasions, and you can make projects, cards, and other things, albums, layouts for boys of any age in your life. The sentiments, I kind of stamped it to give you an idea here. So we have happy separate, and then we have birthday, Father's Day, retirement. So you can stamp different things. So you can do happy birthday, you can do happy retirement, happy camping. There's also let's go. So you can say let's go camping. Oh, I have one right here. Let's go camping. You can do happy Father's Day, happy days, making memories. There's another one right here. Then this one, fun one, do not feed the bears. And then we have the cross, so the bear can say do feed the bears. So that's a lot of things here to mix and match. The only one that does not fit in this space is I miss you so much, but you can use it in other ways. So that's the clear stamp set in your bundle. Then you'll get this amazing wood rings rubber stamp set, and it comes with the large set and 2 smaller wood rings, and then it comes with nice sentiments that you can also use to mix and match. And then you'll get 2 dies to go with your bundle. We have a trailer. This is a larger one of the ones that we have in our range. There's also a smaller one available, and the Campfire. Now let me show you what we are going to be making today. I'll show you how to make 3 different cards and a layout. And this is 12 by 12 layout. So if you're a scrapbooker, don't go too far away. This is not only card making today. We're going to start with this card first. I have my card base at 4 1/4 by 11, and it's scored at 5 1/2. I have 2 layers of orange cardstock, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I have 2 layers of black cardstock, 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. I have 1 layer of craft cardstock, 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. and 1 layer of white cardstock at 3.5 by 4 3/4 as well. So for the main layer here, I'm going to use our background stamp set, and I wanted to show you that it's a rubber on a cling, and it comes with this plastic for storage. And what I like doing, I like cutting this plastic apart, so then I can use my background stamp separate, and these little pieces don't get lost. On my background stamp, I actually never take it off of the plastic. I leave it on like so. I'm going to use oxide ink in Vintage Photo, and I'm going to ink my stamp from the top like so. I'm just going to tap into it, and then I'm going to grab my craft layer, and I'm going to put it face down onto the top of the stamp, and then I'm going to use, this is just printer paper, just regular printer paper from the top, and I'm going to rub into it. So you don't need to have a huge acrylic block, you don't need to use a stamping platform. This is the best way to use on your background stamps. Then I'm going to, on this layer, use my oxide ink in Vintage Photo again, and I'm just going to distress the edges a little bit. Goes by really quick. And this is done. See how cute that is. Isn't this adorable background that you can make in different colors? It looks really cool also embossed, if you would like to do that. So for this card, I have this here. Then I stamped a bunch of wood rings on craft cardstock in black ink. So you can just go ahead, take them off, put them on the acrylic block, and stamp as many as you need. And I would stamp a bunch, and then you can cut them out. So then you'll have a bunch of circles. There's larger and smaller size there. So that would position this here. 2 circles, like so. Then my sentiment, and I'll use Happy Retirement on this here. Cute. Then I have 2 branches, and these are not included in your kit, but you might already have it, or if you don't, you can get them on our website with your 20% off. So I would have my branches tucked in under this. Then I have my campfire. So let me show you what I do with the campfire. I die cut a few already. So I die cut the flame from yellow cardstock, and I die cut the wood from craft cardstock. On the wood parts, I'll use my Vintage Photo again and just rub over it. And once you do that, the detail shows so pretty. I just love this. Now on the yellow parts on the flame, I'm using Candied Apple, and you don't even have to rub into it. You can just hold it in your hands and add a little ink on the sides, and then you can glue it on, and it will give you the campfire. Cute. The other thing I like doing, I like making it into 3D. So if you cut just the middle part of the flame, so I'm cutting the other pieces off, just following the design that's on there, and ink that again. And then you can pop this. Then you have more of the 3D effect. And you can use it either way, whatever fits better your project. So on this card, with my bear, I have it like this. So it's popped, and then I have my bear popped as well, and I have my whole layer popped onto the top of the card. On the inside, you're going to use the rest of your layers, so black, orange, and white. And I stamped my bear from the set in brown cardstock, so it coordinates with the front. And that completes the card number 1. For the card number 2, I have my layers cut already as well. So I have my gray card base 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. I have 2 layers of orange 3/7/8 by 5.18, 2 of black 4/7/8 by 3.5/8, and 1 craft 3.5 by 4.75, and 1 white 3.5 by 4.75 as well. On the craft cardstock, I already went ahead and stamped my background the same way. So I used the black ink for this one, and for the black ink I used archival ink in jet black. So that would go onto my layers here, onto my card base, and again you can pop it or you can glue it together, however you prefer. This is from the Long Flags die. You can get it on our website. Don't forget your 20% off. And I stamped the sentiment here. Then for the trailer, I die cut. I like layering mine, so I die cut it once from black cardstock, one from gray cardstock, and one from orange cardstock. And let me show you what I did here. On the black cardstock, I left everything on. That's our base. On the gray cardstock, I cut off the wheel, and I cut off this, I don't know what that part is called, where the trailer is connected to your truck. So that's the part of the gray. And then on orange, I did the same, cut off the tire and cut off this part here. And then I cut it somewhere under this window right here. So you can either eyeball or you can use paper cutter, whatever you prefer. I just go straight like this, so that creates the line for me. Oh, and I should mention that this doors and the windows open. So if you like to use that detail in your designs, that's really cute too. And then I simply layer them. So the gray goes on top of my black. And then I have orange layer for the stripe. Isn't it cute? So adorable. So I put the sentiment first, then my trailer. I put little tree in the green behind it, and that's our Stitch Trees die. So you might have that already, or if not, you can get on our website. And then my moose goes on the side right there. I moose you so much, you can use it for, as I said, this set is good for boys of all ages, so really cute. And then on the inside, I stamped the moose in brown. So that's my card number 2. For card number 3, I created a long card, or what's called now slimline card, which is really popular design right now. And here I have my card base 8.5 by 8, 2 orange layers 8 by 3.5, 2 black layers 7.75 by 3.25, craft layer 3 1/8 by 7/5/8, and the same with the white 3 1/8 by 7/5/8. Now on the front, I wanted to use this large wood ring on the front of my card, but if I would stamp it directly, it would give me the straight line from the stamp, and I didn't want that. I wanted to have kind of circular design there. So what I did, I stamped on the scrap piece of the craft cardstock, and then I simply cut out the large circle, the large rings that's on the center right here. So I went all the way around, and it gave me this. See how nice and big this is? So you can use this for so many different designs. You can just put it in the middle of the card if you're making the regular size card. But here I wanted to go on this side. So what I did, I put adhesive on the back here and put it on the side of my craft layer. And then from the back, I used my scissors and simply cut off the excess. But don't toss these pieces, because look how cute they are. We can use them for something else later. And we actually will use them for something else later. So this gives me this. Awesome, right? So that would go onto my other layers right here. And then from the bunch of the little ones that I stamped already, and these are from this black ink. So you can then line them up. You can make your other trailer from whatever colors go with your project. On this one I have it in orange. And with the green stripe. So you can line up all of your layers, glue them on. The trailer goes here. Then I used the green leaves, and this is called 2 leaves die, and again this is on our website. If you don't have it yet, you can tag that in just to add a little bit of something green on this side here. Then my campfire, then the sentiment, and it goes by really quick once you have all of the details added. So you can do, this one can be Happy Father's Day, then you can add your critters, and the card is done. On the inside of this card, I used the wood rings and I stamped them all the way around, so that creates another way to embellish the inside of the card. Now let's move on to our scrapbook page. And this is 12 by 12 page. And as far as layers go, I have my gray cardstock and 12 by 12. Then I have this kind of orange color cardstock, or kind of rust color, 11¼ by 11¼ This greenish color is 11 by 11. Then the photo that I used is 5 by 7 size, and for the photo mats I have 5¼ by 7¼ and 5¾ by 7¾ So this is pretty much straightforward, but what I wanted to show you how I made this design on the paper right here on the side. So I'm using my background stamp. I'm going to ink it in frayed burlap. I'm going to ink it all the way, tap, tap, tap. And I want my design to go on this side, so I'm going to stamp it twice. First one right from the top. And you can use this, just kind of press harder into the surface. That's right here, and then I need to finish on this side. So I'm going to ink it one more time. And then I'm going to line it up so it goes from the bottom now. And there's going to be the space that is not finished, but we're going to fake it and cover it. Look how pretty that is. So here I have another one of the large ones cut out from stamped in brown cardstock and cut out. So that's going to go right there. So they see how we're going to fake it. We're going to cover it. Our photo is going to be positioned somewhere here. You can see how it fits better on your layout when you are working on yours, depending on what your photo looks like. Have all of my layers. And then you can add other elements as needed. I used the black pen and I made line going on the sides to finish this off. And then you can just do like zigzag little pieces there. Then I added more of the elements. Happy days. You can play, you can mix and match with different things now. You can add some leaves, whatever you prefer. On here I have little banner going there, and then this amazing die is 2020, and I think everybody needs it this year. So I die cut it twice, once from black, once from gray cardstock, and I offset it a little bit so it stands out more. And on here you can see those pieces that we cut out. You can add them where you want them. You can add more or less, wherever you prefer, and that creates your layout. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you see how versatile this set is. There are other stamp sets that we have that can be used for the boys. So if you would like to take a look at lalalandcraft.com, we have rubber stamps, we have clear stamps, we have paper packs and layering stencils. All of our products are made in US. Really quick, this is the bundle again. So you get the stamp set, background stamp set, clear stamp set. You get 2 dies. The cost of the bundle is $50. You get $72 worth of products. And the show special 20% off, coupon code BOYS20. And this is all from me for today. Thank you so much for being here. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Hi everyone, it's Annie from Stamp Anything, and today we're going to make this cute little surfing guy. So this is our stamp, Mitchell, and we are going to do him in a darker skin tone today. So we are laying down our darkest shade of E59. You do want to be careful when you're working with the darker skin tone, at least the combination that I'm using, because it goes from dark to like a caramel brown pretty quickly, so you want to be a little bit sparingly on your darker tones and not carry them out too far. So next we're going to use our E57, and we're just going to blend over the ones that we just did. And again, it's just to start blending out these darker colors so that they will go into a lighter textured brown as we get into it. And next we're going to be adding our E37. And there's not a big difference in the change of these 3 colors. So you don't want to carry it out too far, but you want to be where your shadows are going to be in the darkest areas. And then it's all going to get pulled through with your next 2 colors. So now we're moving on to our E35. And now you'll be able to start seeing where that caramel-y color starts to come in. I love this color on here, and just blending it out, and now you're really starting to get a really cute dark skin tone that has nice contrast with your shadowing and the different shades of your E markers. So we're just coloring over the last areas what we did and then slightly blending it out further. And our final color is our E33. I'm just going to fill in the rest of the body part and blend out those areas and make it a little bit of a smoother transition. Normally I go over my skin 2 times, but for the purpose of this video, I didn't go over twice on the body, but I did on the face, only because the face has a larger area and the blend is not as smooth on larger areas when you're working with the darker tones. So now we're going to move on to his face. Same color combination and same technique, starting with our darkest color of E59 and just placing it very sparingly in the darkest areas of where we think the shadow would be. And that would be casting down underneath his hair and the little crook of his ear. And then we're going to use our E57 and go over those colors and start expanding it down a little bit further. And again, the face is a bigger area than the body, so the blend on the first round, it's going to actually look like a hot mess, and you're going to be like, oh my god, that does not even look like it's blended well. I can see my lines. But when you do your second color of layer, it blends it better because your paper is now saturated with the marker and it's working together now. So the second layer always blends so much nicer. And again, that's very important on darker skin tones, is it's a little bit more noticeable than lighter skin tones. So now we're using our E35. And we're just blending those lines, trying to get the harshness, but as you can see, you see the line marks of my darker to the lighter color in the last two marker combos, but you'll see when we do our second combo that that actually fades away. So we're just laying down this E35, and now we're going to go in with our E33 and pretty much fill in the rest of his face. And again, he's going to look blotchy. He's not going to look very well put together. Do not panic. This is your first layer of color, and it will all even out when we do our second layer. And I'm sorry I'm off screen here a little bit. I tried to zoom in, and then I didn't realize I was off screen, but I do fix it as we go along. So again, just laying in that E33. You can see how splotchy it is. Totally fine. You're just trying to lay down the color so it can start to activate on the paper. Now we're going to do some cheeks, which is our RV66, and I'm just using it sparingly and on the top portion of his cheeks. And then I go in with RV55, which will now go to the part that curves under the cheekbone. And it just is a lighter pink, and I'm flickering it out into his skin. And then just that E33 again, just to blend out those edges of the blush really quick. And now we're going to do our second layer. It goes a lot quicker the second time because you already have the color down, the paper is already saturated, and the blends are starting to work. So you just want to repeat what you did. So this is our E57. Again, just pulling down the colors. Our E37. Now just really working it to blend a little bit more. And sometimes you have to go over and scrub, I guess I want to say the word is scrub a little bit harder to get those harsh lines to blend together. But when you go over those previous colors, not just on the edge, but on the whole color of what you did, then you really get to see that the blend's taking effect better. So don't just go over the last area of color, but actually go over the whole thing again, so you're bringing all three of your, or all, in this case, all layers of the colors together. And you can see he's not as splotchy because the paper is actually working together now. And now I'm just using the lighter pink, the RV55. I skipped the RV66 because that dark area is already there, and going over it is actually adding on darkness. And then we're just softening up the shade on the edges of that blush. And now you can see he's not splotchy. He has a smoother transition of a face. And even though it looks really, really dark, that's because you only did the skin. Once you add the hair, and we're starting with our T10, we're using our toner grays today. Black is never just black, just so you know that. I very rarely ever use my 100 because you can't add any more depth to your 100 marker. So you want to use combinations of grays because you can always add in a darker gray to your lighter and your medium grays to get that look and feel of black. So I actually avoid using my black marker all the time and just use toner grays or sometimes my warm and cool. So here's my T7. I am just going over, and again, it's going to look sloppy until the end. I'm just going over those T10 marks to soften them up and then to extend them further. And now our T5, repeat the process and just actually now going further than the last marker that you used. So you're just expanding and filling in the hair as it goes. And now I'm going to use my last toner gray, which is my T3, and I'm just going to blend all of it together and just fill in and color everything in the hair of this section, blending it all together. And then you can pull yourself away a little bit and see, well, now it looks like he has gray hair, not black, so you know where to go and add in more of your darker color so it reads black and not gray. If you had used your actual black marker, you would not have room to do any of that, and you would just have a black blob of hair. And now I'm just going over to blend out the harshness of the gray. And now we're going to work on another little section. And I do the hairs in little sections like these. That way color doesn't dry out too quickly, and I still have time to blend it out. And now we're going to go on to his other side of his hair, again with your T10. Just putting down some dark areas. And this is just your first, run through, just so you can see where it's going to go. And when you add all the color, you'll see where it's too gray and not black enough, and then you can always add that back in later. And here's my T3, just filling in all colors. And I will list all the markers that I used and in the order in the comments below, if I have not already done that. And now we're just smoothing it out and adding back our dark colors and blending it so his hair isn't so gray. Okay, and there is his little sideburn area, super small area, so you could just probably even fill it in solids fine. And we're just going to do his tongue really quick, R39. And we want a little bit of contrast there, so R59 into the corner, just so it looks like he has a little shadow in his tongue. Okay, and now we are going to begin his pants. So R39 in our darkest areas. And in the little shadow parts of where we want it to be. R35, you're going to go over that last layer, start blending it out. And now our R32, and fill in the rest of his shorts. To me, they were a little too pink. I want his shorts to read more red, so I'm going to go back with my first color, and I'm just going to add a little more darkness to it, and then the second color, and actually bring that out a little bit further so there's less pink and more red. And that's what's great about starting with your markers. You can always go back and play if something doesn't look right. And now we need to do his band, so we're just going to use a Y35, no shading or anything. We're just going to color it in solid because it's such a small area and it just does a little highlight. And now we're going to do his little shark tooth necklace with a warm gray W3, just down on the tip, a W1, blending it out. And now we need to do the top of the necklace part, so we're going to do that in W6 and just color that in, and there's his little shark tooth necklace. Okay, now we're going to go on to our surfboard. And we are going to start with our darkest color again, which is our R39. And we're just putting in that darkest curve. I left a little white on the edge because it's to show that it's a little concaved, so it's going to have a little bit of a curve to it. Now our R37, and now our R35, and our R35 is now going to fill in that little white area, so you have a white over the little dark, so it'll read as a little bit of like it's a concave curve on the surfboard, the top part. If you've ever seen a surfboard, you know what I'm talking about with how it curves. So my R32 is actually running out of ink, and you can see I am trying to use it as best as I can, but it's really just completely dry. For you, I would still use the R32, but I had to come up with something to finish this video, so I switched over to a lighter pink, which just so I could blend out the marker, but I would have still continued with that R32, but I'm just doing this, and then I'm going to go back a little bit again, because now it's reading really pink on the bottom, because I had to use a replacement marker. So we're just going to fill that in really quick. You see there's a harsh line there, so we want to get rid of that. So we're just going to blend it out and down a little bit further. And then we can go ahead and even it out. And there is our little Mitchell on his surfboard. So now I am going to use my abstract splatter band die, and I am just, I cut it out in a pale blue cardstock, and I am just inking up the edges, and this is going to represent the waves. So I cut out 2 of these, and we're going to ink up the top edges on both of them. And here is our second one. And these also would work for clouds. You can also use them for bushes. I'm using them for waves on here. Super cute. Different ways you can use your dies. And now I'm going to take my standard A2 card base, and I'm just going to put some glue down. And I cut out a card mat with our quilted card mat die in the same blue as the waves. This card mat die is really cute. It just has a lot of like little pinholes that are like a quilt. It just adds a really cute and fun texture to your cards, so you don't have to always just have a solid, you know, mat on your card. And now I'm going to take my wave bands, and I'm just going to try and figure out the placement of them. I want them to be on the edge, so it looks like the waves are coming off. And then let's see how Mitchell's going to be. Okay, so I'm just going to line this up what I think is going to look nice. And once I have that, I'm going to take the bottom wave and glue this flat down onto my cardstock mat of my card, because this part does not need to have the dimensional part of him surfing the waves. This is the back wave, so I'm gonna lay it down flat. And we're just gonna trim off the excess of the banner die. And now we're going to find where we're going to put our second wave. And this one we're going to want to pop dot. So it's dimensional. So I'm going to put down some foam squares on the edge of my card mat, just because the die does run the length of the bottom of my card. So it's easier just to do it this way than sticking it on the die. And then we need to see which part of the wave also needs to be pop dotted so it doesn't concave down. So we're just going to eyeball where we want the pop dot on the back of this wave. So we're just going to add a couple more. And now we're going to remove our backing. And add here our second wave flushed with the bottom of our card. And again, trim off our excess. And this is just a quick, easy way to make a beach scene, especially if you don't like coloring backgrounds or if you don't feel like stenciling a background. Super cute, and it also gives you dimension because you're going to pop dot the wave and the little surfer boy. So now we're just going to add some foam tape to the back of our colored image. And again, you guys, this is like a speed video. I don't normally color this fast. I don't normally put my cards together this fast. And especially when we're teaching our classes, we go at a pace that suits everybody in the class. This is just for the demo purposes. So sorry about that. Okay, so now we have our little Mitchell. And I'm just going to fix this one because it's a little too low. And we're going to remove our adhesive so then we can put him behind the first wave and in front of the back wave. Just going to push him down where we think he's coming off the wave. Super cute. To me, the card still looked a little too plain, so I decided to cut another abstract band in white to have it represent clouds in the background. So just cut that out of your white. I'm telling you, these abstract splatter bands are awesome. You can use them in so many different ways. Just going to put our glue down, and then I'm just going to slide that to be flushed on the top side and tuck it underneath his head. Normally I would have done this before I put him down, but I didn't think it was going to look so plain without it on there. So we're just going to fix that real quick for y'all. There is our little clouds in the background. Cut off that excess once again. And there we have our cute little summer surfing 3-dimensional card. And you can always add a sentiment to the bottom of the wave or up on the cloud, however you want, up to you. But that is it, and that concludes my little demo. I hope you enjoyed it. And here is my finished card. And our sales specials for the expo. And have a great day. Bye.
Hi everybody, it's Kelly Holland, owner of Divinity Designs, and I'm here today for the Scrapbook Expo event all about the boys. Our projects today are all going to be everything I found that can be used for boys or men or babies, anybody in your life that you need to make a card or project for. Take a look at the screen, and this is our show special for this event, and it's a buy more, save more. So you'll need to use a different code depending on what your order total is. I'm going to start off today with some shaped cards. This one is called the Couture Collection Die. And as you can see, it's a men's dress shirt. And it also has pieces for a vest and a tie and little tiny pockets and buttons. And I'm going to show you some samples. Here's one here. This one also used our fish embossing folder. Here's a nice vest with our coffee paper, Latte Love. This one's really nice. I like that one. This one's a little dressier, but you could see we use the different papers from our paper pad. And here's a nice jean vest. All those cards were made using the Menswear Material Collection paper pad. And as you could see, these are all the patterns used on those cards. Along with that die, you can also use hunting and fishing vest dies, along with the Couture Collection and the Menswear paper pad. Here's a nice hunting and fishing vest. Just love those mesh pockets. And these open as well, as do the other cards. Here's a nice hunting with the duck whistle. Look at the cute little zippers too. Here's a nice one. This one has a couple of the fishing lures hanging onto the mesh pocket. Here's one using the plaid paper for the shirt and some black cardstock. You'll find more of these card samples on our product pages on the website. The next die we have that coordinates with the Couture Collection die is the Everyday Shirt die. For these cards, we've also used papers from the Cool and Casual paper pad and the Menswear Material paper pad. Here's one that's a little southwestern. And what guy does not love a tropical shirt? I know my husband has several. Another tropical one, pineapple pattern. This one's awesome if you know somebody who drives a motorcycle. That's really cool. Here's one for the fishermen on your list. Love this one. This one uses paper from our Patriotic paper pads. Here's some camo. Here's a great one for someone who owns a boat. This is one of my favorites. This is the parrot on here. I just love it. Here's another southwestern card done a little differently. Added a circle and a die for a decorative embellishment. Just a good old striped shirt here. And finally this one with the lobster pattern. Here's another die that coordinates with the Couture Collection. You use the Couture Collection as the base, and then you add on the pieces from the suit jacket. These card samples have also used the Cool and Casual paper pad. This is just your traditional tux. This card has used the vest from the Couture Collection and the base, and the rest of the pieces, and the tie, and the rest of the pieces are from the suit jacket die set. This one's cute with the lobster paper. This one, Lisa used the fish embossing folder to emboss the pattern into the suit jacket die. This one's really nice with the white, a lot of the white. And there you have it, the suit jacket die along with the Couture Collection. Next up, I'm going to show you a bunch of our farm products. Guys love anything to do with farms, so this is a great idea to use for guys. A lot of our cards use papers from the weathered wood paper pad. Here's our barn die. It comes with the silo pieces, some strips to add decorative design to the silo, the barn door front, the roof line, the opening in the barn, and some hay. Along with that, we have a farm fence. Then we have a set called Farm Friends with different animals, and they all come with the dies. Here's one of our slimline grasses. We also have 3 other different grass dies on the website. These 2 cards were made using dies from our new slimline collection. You could find those under the website under Slimline Dies. This background die here is called the Pierced Window Frame Die. Creates cute little openings to add your little animals in there, along with the grasses. The next two cards are made using the Z Fold with Layers die. This is a folded card die. I'll show you the back. And it has all the layers, including 2 layers that you use for the front of the card, so that all your layers showing forward are all nice and smooth. We also used the chicken wire background on some of our cards, which is also available on the website. There's the chicken wire. There's also an additional stamp called the Farmer's Prayer. Here's 2 more cards showing the chicken wire background die. The card on the right is from a set called Rise and Shine. And we also have a stamp set called Hugs and Kisses. The next card uses our Surprise Box Wide die set. This card folds flat to an A2 size card and fits into an A2 envelope. Lisa made this one a little higher, so it won't fit into an A2, but you can use probably a 5x5 square envelope. And they call it a surprise box because when you open it up, the surprise is inside. You get the dividers so that you could add your designs to the divider pieces, and then they pop up and you can see what the dimension is on that. Our next card with the barn and the farm animals is this one. That's Twist and Pop. This Twist and Pop melody set up as a landscape. Isn't that adorable? This next card is using our Diorama with Layers die. With the Diorama, you will get your choice of different openings of the oval or the square. You get the layers for the square and the oval, and you get your side light layering die. There's complete instructions inside on how to assemble the Diorama card. What it does is it pops open and then creates the diorama. You can see there's dividers, and the pieces are held up with the divider dies. These cards also are using the barn, the grasses, the farm friends, and they're also using some of our cloud dies. Next, we're going to focus on tools. And what man does not love tools, right? So this is our first tool. It's called Workshop Tools. You receive all those tools. This is an extra set called Tool Time, where you get the additional tools. This is a pegboard with the hooks, and you actually could put the hooks inside and then add the tools to the pegboard. Then we have 2 stamp sets. Father's Day Tools and World's Greatest. Unfortunately, most of our cards are up on the boards that are inside 2 of our trailers right now. So I'll show you what I have on hand that are loose cards. This first card here is made using our sidestep card. It's one of our folded cards and includes all the layers. It opens like this, so it could sit on the table. The drawers were made just using rectangles. There's the pegboard. This card here is made with our double display with layers. This die also contains all the layering dies, and I'll show you how it works. It folds closed. It's an A2 card, and then when opened, look how wonderful that is. That sits on your table like so. I just love that. That is a wonderful card to give any guy. Next up is our other surprise box, which pops open. And that one has the tools in it. You can see the dividers were used to pop up the tools. And here is the surprise box with layers. And finally, I have this card here, made with mirrored cardstock, a Father's Day tools set. And the pegboard. But be sure to check out our website and see the card samples on there. Next, I'm going to show you some music ideas. This is called our piano die, musical notes, guitar, and we also have this die called musical notes background. My first card uses the trifold with layers die that contains all the layers you need also. This set is called Jesus Rocks. The next card uses the bookfold with layers. Your card opens up to look like a little book. The paper pad is called the Notable Notes paper pad. Next is the stair step pop out with layers. The last musical card I have for you today uses the triple tier slider card with layers. There's 2 tiers that pull out, and that creates a little surprise feature in the card. This tier comes with the tab, and that's what pulls the card out. This comes with complete instructions, but you could also watch our YouTube channel. Here's the card with the tab sticking out. You just pull on that. Push it back in. Here at Divinity Designs, we just love lighthouses. This is our first stamp set ever. It was released back in March of 2008, and soon after we had to make a logo. So we used the lighthouse from our first stamp set as the lighthouse in our logo. That's Light of the World. Soon after we followed with this stamp called Keep My Lamp Burning. And the verses are designed to fit in the open space in the stamp. You could find card samples on the website. Last week, we released these 2 stamp sets, Shine Bright and Be the Light. And I have some great card samples to show you. Many of our cards use papers from our nautical paper pad and our By the Shore paper pad. So be sure to look for those. These first 3 cards use a brand new die we have called the Accordion Card with Layers. My next 2 cards use our new die called Floating Frame Front. Kathy McCauley used the die to create a shaker, and you can see she used shells for her shaker. Angie used it with the fishing net background die as the window feature. The next card uses the lever card with layers die. This creates a little window in the front of your card for the lever action to come through. And here's the sample. You can see how the window, show you from this angle. Here we have another trifold. This paper used in the background is called Landscapes Paper Pad. That is just so cool. And look how darling this is with the little rope feature from Kathy. I have this wonderful frame in our booth. that Angela Crocken made a very long time ago. And so you could see, just not cards, you could create home decor too and give as gifts. This is the image from Light of the World and the image from The Mighty Sea. And Angela combined them together to make this wonderful, wonderful frame. One of the sayings I've often heard in business is to do what you know and love. And since I love the beach and anything beach related, we do have quite a big selection of beach related stamp sets and dies. I'm just going to run through a few of them, but you'll find more on the website. By the Sea, Turtle Love. Anytime you see the purple, that indicates a die comes in the set. We call those our stamp die duos. Anchor the Soul. This is a stamp die duo. Anchor and the dies, and the stamps. Deep Waters. Here's a great one. Great Catch. Happy Retirement. And there's many others on the website. I'll show you some card samples. This is called Flip Flop Fun, using our slimline dies. Here's the set using Great Catch. Lisa made a shaker out of this one. Another trifold. This is another one of the lever cards. We also have a new stamp set called Footprints. It's also a stamp die duo where you could cut the footprints out. Another diorama showing the sandcastle stamp set. Another subject I hold near and dear to my heart are sports. Both my son and my daughter played sports all throughout their childhood and high school. We spent many happy hours going to all their sporting events. We do carry a nice selection of sports stamps and dies. Baseball, basketball, football, soccer, softball, and golf. And we also have this all-star jersey set. My first card is using the surprise box dies. The shirt is from the all-star jersey, and then the soccer set, added with some pennants and star dies. Here's our tri-shutter die. I just love the stamp set with the ducks and the verses. It's called Best Dad Ever. And I'll show you some cards. This also uses our wood background paper. Here it is in the trifold with layers. And then this one also uses our fish embossing folder. We all know how men love to grill, and this is just the perfect set called Grill Master. It also comes with the die and the apron and tools. This card is our center step card using the Grill Master. Although I don't have card samples for these, you can be sure to go on the website and see them, but I want to let you know all the other masculine stamp sets we do have. Peaceful Cheer, Plow the Fields, Living Water, Safe Travels, Keep Climbing, Dare Silhouettes, Howdy, some great cowboy silhouettes, Ride 'em Cowboy, and Happy Camper. I have this really cute set using the fireplace from the Happy Camper. And then we have a some more set too that could be added to the card. Be sure to check out our website for all our card samples. Or check us out at the next show next year. We all know guys love pickup trucks. I know my husband has an F-250. So we have a couple different pickup truck items. We have Loads of Love, which is a stamp. And these stamps go inside the pickup. And then these are all the dies. Then we have just separately a pickup truck die. You put all the pieces together and it layers up really, really cool. And then along with that, we have some additional stamps or dies. Dear Family, Dear Silhouette, and Trees and Deer. Here's two cards here. This one uses the fall pumpkins to put in the back of the pickup. Here's a diorama card. Here's a surprise box wide. Nice Christmas truck. And this one decorated with mini lights and ornaments. And finally, a Z-fold with the pickup dies. Dawn made this, and she used our Christmas tree tabletop home decor die, cut it off at the bottom to kind of have a little surprise element on the inside. Here's some great projects using the Dare Silhouette die for gifting at Christmas. That's the gift box. And here's the gift card holder. The gift card fits into the slots. Book fold card. And you could even put gifts inside a box using the trees and deer. The glorious gable box. Our great care set is just wonderful. It works for so many different professions. Doctors, paramedics, health aides, nurses. We also have a veterinary set on the website. You gotta have a stethoscopes die. And we also have a doctor's bag. And a dentist set. Here's the triple tier. This was decorated for a female nurse, but you could change out the papers and use it for a male. This is our A2 center step. Is your loved one a teacher? We have some great teacher sets on our website. This is the side step card. And here we have our test tube trio with teacher items inside. Always looking for gifts for males. I know my husband Rick always wanted to live in a log cabin. So this would be a great card to send to a guy. This is called Home for Christmas. I also have Country Christmas. These are both book fold cards. And we have a snowman that's dressed like a cowboy. Is on the cover of the book fold. Howdy. Yep, those kids grow up and graduate, so we always need graduation cards. This is a die from our Pockets and Layers. Release added a gift card to it. The graduation cap. Here we have the center step card. Stair step. These added a gift card to the side on this one. And finally, We have our twist and pop. We definitely don't want to forget about the little boys in our lives. So we need babies. Here's little monsters with the lever card. Another little monster card. Here it is in the side step. Here's our dinosaur. This is really old. It's falling apart, but it's still just so adorable. That's our surprise box. And for the babies, we have 2 elephant cards. And finally, the little monkey set. This is Test Tube Trio and has a little banana candies in there. And finally, we have our Patriotic Items. Next to our scripture stamp, I think our Patriotic Items is the second most thing we're proud of here at Divinity Designs. And here are some of our paper pads. We have America the Beautiful in a 6x6 and a 6x9. Stars and Stripes, Patriotic Collection, and Old Glory. You just check out Stamps and Dies and look at our Patriotic selections. We have stamps for military, all kind of patriotic. We just love anything to do with the military, veterans. We have some great veteran sets. There's a tri-shutter veteran card. Here's a cascade honoring the branches of the military. Another tri-shutter for a military, a veteran. Here's a great cascade card. This is called Double Display. Here's 2 with our Stitch Sunburst. And another one with the double display. Like I said, we love the military, and whether it's a man or a woman serving, they would love to get a homemade card from you. We want to thank all the service people for serving our country. So that's all I have time for today. I could have showed you so much more. So just be sure to check out the website, check out our ad, make sure you use the correct codes when ordering, and thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed our presentation. Hi everybody, it's Kelly from Divinity Designs. Thank you so much for joining us for the Scrapbook Expo Shop at Home mini edition all about the boys. We hope you learned some great tips and techniques and had fun doing some shopping. See you next time. Bye-bye.